Nautical studies studies on the crew members, or rather the officers' jobs. Later on we'll learn more and understand why we call officers or navigational officers Officer of the Watch, OOW. They're also known as Officer of the Watch because most of the time they be watching their way through the sea. So, Officers of the Watch or navigational officers, we have Master, and then number 2 we have Chief Officer, and then number 3 we have Second Officer, and then number 4 we have Third Officer. Third Officer. And then maybe we can have like a training cadet, which we call a deck cadet. So this person is understanding the work of the deck mates. They are in a training to be a navigational officer in future. Do you understand? So now, this guy who is the master is in charge of the whole ship. Is in charge of the whole ship. So even the engineering staff, they report to the master, who is the number 1. So Capitano, which is the master, he will then delegate some of his duty as the main man of a navigation department to the chief officer, saying, Chief Officer, you can take care of my duties as a navigational officer. So this one is a deck officer, also known as a deck officer. For some reason they call him deck officer. He's in charge of the whole staff of a navigation, from second officer, third officer, and also in charge of a training of a deck cadet. Now, a chief officer is busy with everything like a maintenance of a ship, ensuring that everyone signs out, signs in. When you sign out, so they're looking at how much time you spend at sea. So signing out, you're going home, signing in, you're coming back. So there's a lot in his plate. Now, in this subject that we call nautical studies, it's based on the navigational side of the ship. So the technical parts of the ship, where the ship will move from one place to another. How does the ship move from one place to another? Who are involved ensuring that the ship will move safely from port A to port B? Now, a chief officer will now delegate the navigational officer to the second officer. So this one is a navigation officer. So most of the job most of the study we'll be doing on the second officer, because this is navigation. So what does the second officer do? He planned the voyage from point A to point B, ensuring that all relevant charts, publications are there on board the ship. So that is a second officer, ensuring all relevant publication and charts are available. Because remember, you cannot travel without these charts, because they'll give you exact where you are. So you need these publications. You need publication like weather publications. You need to understand where you are moving. So you need to have a weather forecast of the particular area that you'll be moving. You might encountering ice. You need to know. So a weather forecast is very important. It is written under a relevant publication and charts, right? So that's a work or a duties of a second officer, right? What do we need? What do you need as a second officer or navigational officer? You need a chart. You need a parallel ruler This is a parallel ruler. You need a 2B pencil. You need a 2B pencil. You need a rubber, because you are human, you make mistakes, so you definitely need a rubber. And then you need to understand what is going on in the chart. You cannot make any entry without understanding what is in the chart. Okay, the master is relying on you. You are a navigational officer. Remember, the ship cannot depart without you handing over all the charts, and also your charts are being plotted. You cannot hand over the empty charts. A master needs to know, need to see all the position that you'll be passing, need to know all the dangers that you'll be passing, and then you need to give to them, and then give also notes before they can say, oh, this voyage will be safe. So you need a chart, you need all charts, you need publications, like a lot of publication. Maybe in the second officer's room, you'll find him with a lot of books, these sizes, checking all the relevant information about the particular area they are visiting. So that is why I brought this chart, so that you guys can see what will happen when you are plotting at your grade level, when you do the plotting of position, and also knowing where you are. Remember, you cannot rely on a GPS. You can have a GPS which tells you you're going this. In case that breaks, what's going to happen? You need a paper chart that's going to tell you exactly. Okay, so there's a lot of information that we use to plot. Like, for instance, we use like celestial bodies, sun, moon. Sometimes we use stars to plot our positions. Okay, so there's a lot of information that we can use. We use sextant sometimes just to find where we really are. Okay, which is important. Okay, I think we're gonna have to come around and just learn, just take a look at the whole chart, and also understand the charts that you are using. Okay, just come around. All right, okay. This is the charts. Before you even, you need to know the chart number and who produces the charts. Okay, this is 4011, so it covers 4011. So if you type on your computer with internet 4011, you'll get exactly this particular chart. This covers the North Atlantic Ocean, which is the northern part. Okay, this is produced by British Admiralty. So the British produce this. Okay, this is your latitude. This is your latitude. See, you're on a 60 degree, 55, 50 degree, 45, 40 degree, 35. This is your latitude. And then horizontal is your longitude. Yeah, this is your longitude. So what do we use latitude for? Mostly in this chart, we used to find exactly where we are, one. Number two, we use for distance, okay? For distance, because they indicate a distance covered by the ship, okay? So they're equivalent to a minute and hours, okay? So they are the distance, right? And then we have compass rose. This is compass rose. This one will give you an exact direction, saying your ship is heading 060, which is 60 degrees. Then you'll take your parallel ruler, direct it to 60, which is a reciprocal of 240, 240. Whenever we call our angles, we start with 0. Okay, we start with 0. For instance, the angle is 3 numbers. So for instance, this one, if it's a 0 degrees, it will be 0 degrees. But for 10 degrees, it is 0, 1, 0. Okay, 0, 2, 0. That's 20. Okay, so you will take 60 degrees. Can I have, yeah, that's a 60 degrees. That's your heading. Heading. You've been given a position maybe down here, 60 degrees. Make sure that it does not move. Make sure that it does not move. And it's parallel. If it does not move, it will give you exact. So you go down and then you draw your heading. Remember that you are heading 0, 6, 0. 0, 6, 0 is up. And then you move your ruler up. And then you must show us your error, saying you are going this side. Because if you just draw a solid line, we will not know which direction you are going. Do you understand? You're heading, yeah. So compass rose will give us that. This will give us distance. And also, the yellow parts indicate the land, okay? Yellow parts indicate the land. And then also this blue type indicates shallow waters, which means the depth is small. Okay, so their depth is small. So all waters are indicated in depth. Like for instance, this one, see, this is the depth of waters. See, the depth of water here is 30. This one is 17, so it's much shallower. Okay, so it's not deep sea. Okay, these are deep sea where it's white. This, which means it is safe for you to sail in these waters than here. Only here when you are going into the port. Okay. What you'll get shallow water like this one, where they do fishing. They'll give you information about that particular area. So which means they are no-go areas. No-go areas are the areas that might harm you, or they might give you a danger, or might pose a danger to a ship as well. So those areas are like this ones. These are buoy. These consist of buoys. Can you see buoys? Yeah, so these areas are very shallow. So they are no-go areas unless you're going to the airport. Do you understand?
Yes.
Right, so now I will plot a position for you guys to see, and then we'll find, so we heading, so a position here to our position is 55 degrees, 55 degrees north, and then 30 degrees east. 30 degrees east. So there's 55 there. Can you see? There's 30 degrees east. So what does that mean? Where they meet, that's where you are. Okay, that's where you are. Do you understand? So you make sure that you draw a line parallel to this. Okay. And then also take your ruler along again. Can you see that you are still continuing with the line? Okay. So that is your position. So that is your position. Okay. That is your position. 55 degrees north, 30 degrees east. Okay, that is your position. Another position will now give you a heading, saying you have 60 degrees north and then 15 degrees east. Right, so this is 60 degrees line, can you see? 60 degrees line, and this is 15. So we already have 60 degrees, so now we need to go to 15. Always refer from the line, not just anywhere. You must refer from the line, straight line. So we'll take from 20 degrees going to 15. Okay, bit more, going to 15. And then you plot. This is your position. This is your position. And then you indicate your heading. You take your first position and your last position. That will tell you exactly what you're heading. You started here, so this is A, this is B. Then from there, you go to the, where do you go now? Compass rose. Compass rose. Make sure in the compass rose, you take it to the center. There is a center there. And then, what is your heading? 059. 059. You're supposed to do 060, but you did 059. Not always you're going to do 060. Remember, you are traveling through water. It's not always the case where you'll keep your course, okay? So that's why you're finding errors right now, okay? So that is how we do a plotting of position, okay? Do you have any questions?
So what if the second officer makes a mistake during the voyage in the middle of the ocean? What does it do?
Okay, so like I said, it will go from second officer to the master. So the master will have to recheck the charts before they can even use in the bridge. So the error will probably be picked up before they can take it to the bridge.
So the master is also qualified to navigate?
Yeah, the master is the main man. He's been there, so he's in charge of everything now. Yeah. Yeah. Are we good? Yes. All right. Thank you, guys.